Hello everybody, long time no see, long time no hear, long time no videos, but who cares? I'm here now. So after I play a Christmas Desert a year ago, the game immediately stopped off the top of my list of the most anticipated titles. And when I was asked like maybe a month ago, I wanted to sacrifice all of my free time to review and play the Christmas Desert. I didn't have a chance to think about it for long and buckled up. Now it's time to review. So in fact, it is a gigantic game that does a lot of things right. One of the absolute highlights of the game for me is the open world. The top right corner of the map and the bottom left corner are whooping 13 kilometers apart, but that certainly doesn't mean that they are any waste spaces. The world is bursting with secret puzzles and the other content. The secrets and the puzzles are very entertaining, and they didn't mean that they have any wasted space. And the secrets itself appear as the question marks on the map when you get very close to them, giving you the real feeling that you are exploring an unknown world. Well, to understand what I'm talking about and how big the skill in this game, my playthrough of Christmas Dessert, I will probably release it later. I did quite a bit of content in the beginning, but eventually I focused on the large and on the main quest. Well, I reached the credits after about 70 hours, but my exploration competition is only at the 8%. I think I could easily put another 100 hours into the game and still not have seen anything or everything. Well, in terms of exploration, this game reminds me the most of the Breath of the Wild. I wouldn't dare to say that it's certainly where one other the Pearl Abyss was actually inspired by the game, but there are certainly similarities to be found. As mentioned, you can see where the secrets are located on the map. You really have to go searching for them yourself by walking to interesting points in the world. And do you want to explore something located in a higher point? Nope, not a problem, because you can climb on the just about any vertical surface, at least as long as your stamina doesn't run out. Later in that game, you unlock even more abilities that can help you explore the world. The world in the Christmas Desert is actually put together, and I find it a delightful game to go and to play, right? So, helping people, defending the bandits, mining ore, it is all great and fun to do and not overly complicated. Together with a tame cat or dog, which by the way you can dress as fun outfits. My great cat, for example, was dressed as a cute musketeer and you can go on adventure. Pets actually have a function in the game. They pick up loot from the ground, so if you have chopped down a tree or drilled out on the well, your cat or dog picks it up for you. All in all, it is just a great fun to roam throughout the world of Pywel. What you can complicate it in this world, however, are the puzzles. While some of them quite easy to solve, for the other, you will need really to take screenshots or the photos of keeping a notebook handy. In other cases, the puzzles require so much precision that in ring turn, for example, a centimeter too far to the left or right is not accepted as the answer. That can be quite frustrating. You'll also regularly encounter the puzzles in the main quest, which are generally much simpler than the optional puzzles. However, there are few that I personally struggle with a lot and which I probably won't have figured out with the help of others who already had the game in their hands. Generally, the problem for me was the game that I hadn't taught me, with the solution being in its thought was also something I need to think about. An example of this puzzle is about a third of the way throughout the main quest, where it's very clear that you have to aim laser beams at orange areas. I then expected to be able to proceed the next area, but that turned out not to be the case. The game actually wanted me to connect multiple cables in the rather large room. My problem at no point before that did Christmas Dessert imply in any way that this might be something to consider when solving a puzzle, so I didn't look back for it. A simple solution would be to create a simple puzzle earlier in the game where you have to connect into two cables. In that case, players learn that this can be a possible solution to a more complex puzzle. So, about a third of the way of the story, when I was finishing the main quest, the weapon and armament system gets even more deep. So this is when you unlock the ability to customize the abuse cores in your weapons and clothing. You have already seen these abuse cores in their game, and they grant specific abilities to items such as sword, shield, gloves, chest plate, or other garments. Could include increased damage or movement speed, but you can also use them to improve your resistance to cold or heat. An abyss core can also assign a unique skill to a weapon or piece of clothing. As soon as you get opportunity to remove your abyss core from weapons or clothing and place them to the other items, you have likely already made some upgrades. If after a boss fight you then receive a weapon or piece of clothing with interesting unique skill on it, you don't need to upgrade it again. Instead, you can remove the abyss core that triggers this ability from your new weapon and put it into your already upgraded weapon. The system ensures you have quite a lot of freedom in depth in your build, and even allows you to place different unique skills on a single weapon, which can lead to strong combinations. You unlock other skills in the skill tree. Some of them are unlocked with Abyss artifacts, which you receive as a reward of the side quest and solving the puzzles. Another part, however, has a unique way of being unlocked. You learn the skills from the bosses. Where you are in the boss fight and the boss uses a skill that you can also learn, your screen turns blue, and notification appears in the top left corner indicating that you are observing. After you have the attack about 2 or 3 times, you can use it yourself. You don't even have to wait until after the fight. You can deploy your new skill immediately to defeat the boss. I think that's a really cool way to fill out the skill tree, and it feels really awesome to get back boss immediately with their signature move. I find the story to be by far the weakest aspect of the Crispin Desert, as it often leads a way of innovation. At the beginning of the game, the Greymakers had driven out the Pywel of the regions of the continent of the Pywel, the Blackspears, in Herald, another region. You subsequently gather the Greymans back together, which is also immediately kicks off the clan's quest. And with the group reunited, Kliff and Co. plan to reclaim. Well, I'm actually getting a little bit of the spoilers, so I don't wanna get into the spoilers. Well, let's talk about, I guess, the graphics, right? My experience was very well optimized on my PC, and I have a little bit of advanced PC, and it gave me like 80, 70, 80 FPS, making a delightful gaming experience. Even on cinematic settings, the game managed to stay around 60 FPS for me, so yeah, that was a flex with my PC. And according to the studio, the Nuvo was already implemented in the game build I played, so in that regard, this shouldn't result no differences in performance to compare other versions of me being played. So, all in all, the Christmas Desert might not be as groundbreaking as you might expect, but it is the game I fire up with a great pleasure. The open world is not only breathtaking, but is also very well put together. You almost constantly stumble upon mid-bending puzzles, secrets, and the other side content. As the result, it's almost a challenge to really focus on the main quest, but it is also partly because the story isn't that all strong. What is exactly challenging are the boss fights. At the fails due to all spectacle and all lightning fast attack patterns, it often seems hopeless to win those battles, but ultimately they turn out to be very well designed once you get a hang of it. The game does not cause some mild irritation at certain points, which I actually was found about, but the things are actually a little bit of the waste your time unnecessary. So in any case, if you want to try it, this is a great game. Definitely go and download it. It's very captivating open world, challenging boss fights, and brain-teasing puzzles, which will sober you up. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Peace.